Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for. Today I want to share with you my currently ink for July and August. Especially I want to put a focus on if my currently ink covered all my use cases and if it was a good setup I came up with. And I can already tell you it was about 80% successful. Let me start with the first ink I selected. This was Brane from Colorverse. And I wanted to use this ink because I got it when I was in Korea this spring, and I finally wanted to use some of my inks I bought there. I got this ink at the fountain pen store, Blue and Black, and I really did enjoy it. So let me start here. As you saw, I did shake it up a little bit because it is, as Colorverse calls it, glistening ink. So this ink is Brane by Colorverse. I had this ink in my Pelikan. Well, let's start with the ink. It is Brane by Colorverse. That one's tight, not the best choice. The pen is my Pelikan M-809 with a fine nib. And the main purpose for this combo was just daily journaling. And I have to plan a bit better where I put my writings. So that's certainly an important part for me. Every pen has a purpose, or every pen and ink combo has a purpose in my lineup. This one worked really well. I did like the color, I liked how it performed in the pen, just nothing to complain about. Then the second ink I chose was for my Pilot Custom 823. So for just a regular daily journaling, I like to have two different ink colors at least, because yeah, just makes the journal look a bit nicer if there's some variety. But I also have to be careful that I do not choose too many different inks, because I certainly do want to be able to use all my pens regularly, not just, a few times throughout the months. So, and as you saw, I did shake this ink as well, or this ink bottle. And what do we have here? I don't know if it's visible on the screen. Come on. I'll try to put a bit less ink on the page now. So this is an ink from the last color event, so the color event 2025. And this is an ink I was looking forward to use for quite a while, because I do love my brown inks. And this one looked very nice. So let me put it down. So the ink is golden, Airglow, by Colorverse. And the pen is my Pilot Custom 823 in the medium nib. And the main purpose, okay, so journaling. And two pens I always really enjoy to have in my current pen lineup. That's the one the two we already saw, my Pelikan M809 and my Palette Custom H23. So I don't want to make a pen and ink lineup in the near future without those two pens. I just do love writing with both of them, really. And also, again, here the ink performance in this pen worked wonderfully. As you see, I mean, both of those pens are rather expensive, and I still put shimmer ink in there. And afterwards, once they're written dry, I just clean them with washing them with water a couple of times. Yes, the shimmer is not always completely removed, but doesn't really matter for me. Then there is some shimmer contamination. Who cares? Well, I certainly don't. But then I thought, okay, I had now two inks selected, and I am still in my purple phase. I selected from Kyo.no.oto the ink Sakuranezumi. And the ink by itself is really, really nice. But here my lineup, in my opinion, went a bit wrong. I guess you will see it in a second. Oh no, oh, it doesn't start. Here. So, as I said, the ink by itself, wonderful. It did not really work out well with my other inks, which will you see in a second. So let's start here. The ink is Sakuranezumi by Kyo.no.oto. And the pen is my Lamy All-Star with a fine nib. And the main purpose was also daily journaling, and I think this is already a bit too much for me. So ink worked nice in the pen, like the ink color. But I think 3 inks for daily journaling is not necessary for me. I think it's 1 ink too much. So I did not use this pen as much as I had intended to. And the reason for that is not only that 3 inks for daily journaling are a bit much for me, but also the 4th ink choice I made, Ancient Copper by Diamine, an ink I do like very much. And this one I have Ancient Copper, Diamine, and the pen is a Pelikan 400 in a oblique medium flex nib. So that is a vintage pen. I really enjoy the variety in the line. It's very nice. And here I have a main purpose, headings and titles. I also wrote almost always the date with this one. And this is the reason why I did not use Sakuranezumi ink a lot, because I always had like a hard time once I had my title or date written with the red ink to go with the purple one underneath. I don't know, maybe for you it's not such a problem, but it bothered me. What I do like about this pen, it's depending on how much you flex it, you can get a lot of variety. And it's still usable for regular journaling in this Sterling ink notebook. So it serves like two purposes. Finally, I have my fourth pen. This is actually not a new ink. So this ink is also from the last color event. It's Cosmic Reef by Colorverse. The pen is my Pilot Capless with a medium nib. And this one has a very clear purpose. I use this pen and ink combo for work. And actually this has been my combo since the beginning of the year, and I want to keep it like that for the rest of the year. I'm just curious to see how much ink I'm going to use if I use one ink exclusively. So we have journaling, journaling. Bit much for me. So I think 2 would have been sufficient for that. Then 1 for titles, headings, and the 5th one here for my work journal. Just have here on the right side a bit bigger writing samples, because I think, at least for me, it's always nice to see, apart from the swatch, how the ink looks. Especially with not only written like 2 or 3 words, but like a whole page or at least a paragraph. So now I will let this dry. All the inks are dry now. Golden Airglow. Then we have Sakuranezumi Brane by Colorverse, which is also a shimmer ink or glistening, how they call it. Ancient Copper, which is certainly a classic. Cosmic Reef, also by Colorverse. So for a quick recap, was my pen and ink lineup a good idea? As I said at the very beginning, I think it was 80% a good idea. This was not the best choice, just in a combination. And maybe it's also one pen too much for me. I guess 4 pens would have done it. I think what I did well with this setup is I covered my different needs for or use cases I have in my daily journaling. Okay, then thanks for your time. I hope this was enjoyable, fun for you. Let me know, what are your criteria for selecting your pen and ink combos, because I'm still in the experimentation phase and I have not 100% accomplished the perfect setup, and just always interesting to see what aspects other people consider and how you select your pen ink combos. Thanks for your time and see you soon. Bye.